Hey people, can you spot the murderer in this picture? You know, it's real easy. There's more than one murderer here. And if you pointed anywhere beside here, you would be right. But I saw this in my last movie and I thought I'd go check it out a little more. You know, thou shalt not you murder is the phone uses. Who phone uses. So most half of y'all are murdering right now. Who the phone uses. You know, you can see it again here, shall murder. The phone use. And so within these two words you can get a better idea, because this one said you shall murder. The phone use is, so is you. And here's just shall murder, the phone use. And so I thought I'd go check out the Ten Commandments and get a better reading on that. So I can't get those equivalents up here in this Old Testament Bible, but it's the same, you know, the Q, P-H-O-N-E, U-S-C-I-S, the phone uses. They kind of got it switched up here, you know, it's not you shall murder not anymore, but it's just murder. They have you shall not over here because they made it you shall not on all the others. But it's still, you know, who phone uses. So I thought I'd go up to the top and start reading this and see how funny it might be. And for everybody who doesn't know, you know, the Bible was originally written as a comedy, and they took all the fun out of it in the translation. So you can see here, you know how I tell you the E means the same as in the Hebrew. In the Greek, it's still the same, and the. And so this is the lawless, you know, and the lawless carry as. Pantas. Panta comes from this ancient word, you know, occupational name for servant in charge of the supply of bread and other provisions. You know, pan was the word for bread all around the Med. And so in the lawless carry as pantas to us. You know, that's like your government issuing you your bread, you know. And the lawless carry as pantas to us. And they're putting 90% of it in their stash and only giving us 10% of it. And the logo used taught to us. You know, the words we use taught to us, like you son of a bitches, legion is what we said. And the lawless carry as pantas to us. The logos used taught to us legion. And we done called them out. Ego the Jimmy carry as sea. Thee as so hostess. The shagagon. And so the go means, you know, if you get up in my face one more time, we gonna go, you know. The go, it will happen. The Jimmy is the day in the Hebrew. The Jimmy, it means a click of the ratchet, another day. The go, the day. The carry as see. Thee as so, as plant hostess, you know, the one leading, the hostess of the shagagon. Shagagon's a whorehouse. And sea of, you know, the ek is l, just l, and it doesn't mean from, it means of. M means from. The sea of or sell goes age up to. It's weak of, do, will, they, as. It's the weak of, do, will, they, as. Do as you will, you know, of slavery. Slavery is the do, will, they. You know, they will do your will, but we waiting for the week of the do, will, they, as. You know, it's Mardi Gras, you know, when the slaves become the kings. Weak is on to make say, thee who hetero plan them of. The weak is on to make say, thee who hetero. And this means that all the rulers were a bunch of fags. Now thee whose hetero planned them of. You see that word here, hetero. They'll try to mix it up and say it means comrade, but it's a clipping of hetero, sexual. The heterosexual. In Greek, they'll say it means partner, companion, and that's just because, everybody in Greek was gay. They all did, little boys. But I believe it may possibly just mean straight, as in the true. Something's true, it's straight. But you can see how they're totally trying to twist the meaning of heteros. To, another, a second, other. Different works better. The different sex, of a different kind. The heteros, another of a different quality. And you see how they twist the meanings of it up. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's next, one, other, another one, another man, another. And so they just flip it around however they have to fit it. But we know what heteros means. They come from Homer. One not of the same nature, form, or class, kind, a different one. So I don't have anything against homosexuals, but you can't put them in leadership positions. You can't put them in the military because they're too easily compromised. They'll do things that's embarrassing, and then once the agents, once the spies get something on them, they can get more and more out of them. And I've seen it in Quantico. They'll get some little gay boy to do something, and there was no gays in the military back then. And so they would get something on them, and then it would just roll over more and more. They would get a little bit of information from him, and then next time they would hold that against him. And the snowball just rolled down the hill until they ended up with a 40-year sentence. Who poiches this? See what to. The idol on who would pantos. Homojoma as so into our ano. To whoso in the G. Kada to whoso into is today's in. Hypocato those goes. So this is who as in WHO and poiches. And so they just now finished a study and they figured out why people scratch their mouth when they're talking. And they hooked a bunch of electrodes up to their brain. And they found out that their brain, while they were talking about a subject, their brain would overload. And by scratching po, the mouth, per orally, and that's the word for created. P-O was created with the word poet. Who per orally itches this. And so people, deep thinkers, when they're talking, they scratch around their mouth and it helps the brain unload. And this is often caused by not fully telling the truth. Their brain loads up because they're trying to make up a story other than just recall it. And that's probably where they get this word make from. Who the mouth itches this. See what to. SEEWHATTO. See what to. The idol on. Not an idol, but the idol on. So if you're driving down the road and you come up to a red light and it's red, you stop and you sit there and you idle. You idle on. So that's where that word goes together. To idle means, it doesn't move. It's just idle. It just sits there. Who would pant as. Homo like Joma. am from, or that which is the same like. An idol would pant as that which is the same like. Who so into, as so into the hour on end, I-A-N is the sky, on end. And whoso in the G. And so I don't believe G means the earth. I believe G means planet. The G is the foot divided, or the foot wall. So this comes from, Jeb is the foot in, is the earth, the god of the earth. Night is the sky, and Jeb is the earth. And so Jeb would be, the foot in. Jeb is the writings that go in this little block underneath the statues, underneath the idols, is the Jeb, the earth. They're standing on the earth. And it's the name, the word that goes with it. This is Jeb, the writings in the foot. And it'll be this shape here. I mean the earth. And the B is in, and the G is the foot. Bag is in carry, and the Jeb is the foot in. You can see it in these hieroglyphs for land. And so there's a bunch of information in the foot in these statues. They have a little word written on there. But just looking at the foot in the sandal will tell you more about it. If the big toe was the longest, it meant it was an Egyptian god. And if the next toe was longer, then it was a Greek god. And if the two of them were the same size, it was a Roman god. If his sandals had wings on them, he was Mercury. And if his hat had a feather in it, he was a corruptor. So you can look at this foot and you could tell that it's Greek. It's got a long toe here. And it's Mars. He's got these battle sandals on. So kata is according to, as in you make a chart and you have columns, and it goes, in that column below what is according to. And so who is most likely lying because they're scratching their chin while they're making up a story? See what to idle on. When he slows down, who would pant as the homo from? M-A, that which is from the homo, as so into the hour on. Is so into the hour on. The hour on is the stars, the sun moving across the sky. The hour on. And the AN is the sky end. The hour on, the sky end. And whoso in the foot divide according to, and whoso in toys to days in. Usually they'll say the water is data. It'd always have a T in there. But that means the date. But this is the days in. The days in, uppo, hypo, under, according to those goes. To put the days in under, according to those goes. Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. This will be my first short one in a while. And if I get some likes on it, I'll see that y'all want me to read on this. Good day.